I mean, this is your department. Can't you zap him with your magical wand and make him obey?
So I'd really appreciate if you'd stop undermining what we are. Yes, I am skilled at what I do, and that is why I'm telling you, Benjamin could be a high-level witch right now. And I want to know because of his 12th house credentials. And if he knows how to cloak, there's no limit to what he'll be able to do. Also, his past drug usage would just amplify his channeling capability because the 12th house rules over that sorcery. He's been sober for years now, and our sources highly doubt he's reverting. Being clean will give him the ability to see through otherworld gateways clearly. We have ways though. As long as we keep his ego in the game, we have a fighting chance to get him into that building on time.
The ego, dragged the Admiral. And what part does that play?
The mental processes of the brain, id, ego, and superego. Benjamin purposely shut off the id part of his brain because he felt it would keep him out of trouble in jail. To our benefit, however, the ego is susceptible to outside forces when it has no id to communicate its wants. Consequently, our wants can become Benjamin's wants easily.
Now that's what I like to hear. I know what a damn ego is. So what do you think, Arkad? Is this convict's stellar compass too risky to chance, or do you still believe this is our man? I trust what Elizabeth says, and I trust my gut. The circumstances we have him boxed in, along with the desert regions he will frequently dine in, will keep him docile. Any family? Yes, he has a child he doesn't know, and he has a mom that he hasn't seen in years. He just calls her once a year on her birthday. Damn, a deadbeat. Okay, no angle there. Until next time, this meeting is over. Chapter 6. A Mother's Intuition. The line at Worth Street was nothing like he remembered years ago. Before, the line would flow outside and around the corner this early, but Dick counted only 12 people ahead of him. Are you getting a long form too? To see your time of birth? Dick thought the stranger behind him was excessively giddy for merely getting a birth certificate. Actually, I'm getting a long form to see where my mother is from, to trace her ethnicity. Why? I don't understand. What's so great about knowing what time you were born? Dude, you get to see your natal chart, right? My bad. I'm gathering you don't know what that is. Okay, you read your horoscope before, right? The stranger backed off of Dick, somewhat realizing how forward he was. Sure I have. Here and there I've read it. Well, it's like reading the horoscope of your whole life, prior ones included. It's the dopest shit ever. Just go online, plug in your birth information, and it pops that shit out like a newborn baby. You can get one of them astrologers to read it for you too, but they usually charge you wild money, bro. So I recommend you just go for the automated one. Dick looked through him while storing the information for a rainy day. He really didn't feel like being bothered, but tolerated him for the sake of burning time. Hey bro, you're next up, he said. Dick snapped out the trance, then turned around to approach the clerk and slid the necessary forms of identification into the slot. One long form birth certificate, please. Once obtained, he creased it like a classified historic scroll. The thought of how the parents of his generation kept so many secrets from them made him smile and think he finally got one up on them, and wouldn't be called defiant for doing so. He glanced over his time of birth, but paid it no real attention. He instead scanned the document until he found his mother's name and read, Birthplace, Atlantis, Georgia. Dick sucked his teeth in disappointment because it didn't directly list his mother's ethnic background, but the lead was still comforting.
Oh shit, look who it is. Oh my god, come here.
Dick lifted his oblivious head out the paper to see Red approaching him with wide arms and an even wider smile. She wrapped her arms around his neck while he went low, wrapping his around her waist. His height made her tiptoe and lean into his body. They then swayed side to side while she talked in his ear.
We were just talking about you at the bar the other night when I brought you up. I said, where is my Benjamin?
Her open coat enabled her breasts to mash up against Dick's chest, and she made sure he could feel them. He caught a flashback of her tits being whipped by the Hermanic woman in his dream on their way to Mama Love's house, then peeked over her shoulder to eye the man who was with her. He was playing it cool, but also scratching his head with uncertainty. Red, however, made no effort to let go of Dick and turned the reminiscent moment into a dry, humping soft porn. Every societal and spousal standard that Dick ever considered left him immediately for the now hard cock stabbing Red in the leg.
I missed you,
she moaned. Dick counted a little over a minute until she finally let go thanks to the approaching train that snapped her out of her trance.
Oh, you remember Dylan, right?
Red asked. The guy you're so crazy about? Of course. Hey, what's up, my guy? Dick did not remember Dylan, but did his best to fall into character by extending a hand to shake his. Red kept talking and hugged Dick again tightly while her lover held the train door for her.
I'll friend request you on Life Bible later.
Okay, you do that, Dick smiled. She leapt onto the train while Dick stood analyzing her coat. The fact that it was military fashioned gave it significance because it resembled the attire she wore in the Desert Dream. Bro, the real estate people are here. Come to the hotel. Dick kicked into high gear for the J train after receiving the text from Sean. The lobby was empty when he arrived with the exception of a beige woman working the front desk. He didn't recognize her and soon realized why. The name tag on her uniform read manager.
Are you the guy from room 301 designing the fashion and websites?
She asked. Dick wasn't aware that he was a fashion designer too, but went along with it. Yep, that is I, he agreed.
I heard that you have some magical powers. Gotta keep you around.
Oh yeah? You're still talking about designing, right? Dick joked.
You know what I'm talking about.
She winked, then smiled while carrying a box away to the storage room. Oh man, you just missed him, bro, by like 10 minutes. Damn. Sean walked into the lobby from out the lounge area to greet Dick wearing an outfit the same colors as he wore in the dream. Hey man, don't even sweat it, it's all good. What are you doing though? You want to sit in the lounge for a minute? Yeah, bro, no doubt, come on, Sean replied. They sat on the couches and Dick stared at Sean without blinking. What's up, you good, bro? Told you, man, I'm sorry, I did text you, Sean stated, sensing something was bothering Dick, who sat with his forearms rested on his knees and fingers clasped. He then motioned them outward with raised eyebrows. You don't have anything you want to tell me? He asked. Sean veered his eyes to the side for about 5 seconds, took a deep breath, then broke the silence. How much of it do you remember? He asked. All of it, Dick said excitedly. Haha. Don't get too excited, bro. It's not common at all for people to share dreams and both be knowledgeable of it. I've already had dreams with you in them. I tried telling you but got cut off, Dick replied. Word? Was I dressed well? What was I doing? Dick thought of how close he was to selling Sean and his crew his exotic muse, then decided not to fill him in. I think I'll let you do some more living before telling you about that one. But what makes you want to discuss this one? The guy who got locked up. Yeah, what about him? His name is Talk. So what that mean? Oh, shit, bro, that's crazy. Good shit, I knew you were smarter than you were leading on. But what is it exactly that you need to talk about? See, this is a tricky part about being an other. My perception of the dream may be different than yours. Feel me? Dick bowed his head and thought about it. Okay, what did you get out of it? Shit, honestly, bro, I was just corroborating with you, looking for any additional signs, and then the boys flew in. I don't know your boy Talk, but of course I recognize Glow, South Reptilia in the building. Wait, you said corroborating. Why did you say it like that? We were just playing ball. Right, but peep it, bro. When you play any type of sport in a dream and you're on a team, it means that you're cooperating in the waking state. So for me, I'm like, alright, I must have some type of mission to assist my guy within the waking state because I know you feel me? Okay, that makes sense. So does that mean Glow and Talk are cooperating? That's another tricky area because what's the likelihood of them knowing each other? Slim. So I'd have to ask, what does the kid Talk do in the waking state? Last I knew, he hustled. Boom, there you go. All Glow raps about is drugs, so even though they don't know each other, something connects them symbolically. You see your man get caught up with all those pieces? Shit, boy. Right, but check this shit out. You probably couldn't see this, but I had like 10 20s of coke in my back pocket. The cop saw it too and then locked me up. Shit, he was holding me like I was his friend. Sean placed his finger under his chin to ponder. Did you ever sell drugs? Like a motherfucker, Dick confessed. Ever use them? I experimented. Sean took another few seconds to think. This may be way more complex than what it is on the surface. What zodiac sign are you? Pisces. Pisces is ruled by drugs, but you don't do them anymore. You can't because you wouldn't have made it to the camps if you did. But you are all connected by drugs. What did you do to quit? What methodology did you use? Dick grew frustrated because no matter how far in the corner of his mind he searched for the answer, he couldn't find it. He let out a small sigh in defeat. I really can't remember, he said. Sean's eyes rolled to the side again and he began rocking back and forth. What? What is it? Dick asked. Sean lifted his finger to say, give him a minute. You're missing someone. Something, Sean insisted. Someone like who? You're missing the other you. What? I know it sounds weird, bro, just hear me out. What do you want more than anything right now? That will make you feel on top of the world. To get my dick sucked? No homo. Okay, when is the last time that happened? It hasn't at all that I can remember. And why not? You can bag bitches. I know you can bag bitches, bro. The facilitator in the labor camp, the front desk manager at the hotel, both on you. And there's no telling how many baddies you got in that cell phone. So again, what has stopped you from getting that sloppy toppy? Dick sat in terror like a mental patient, knowing the nurse was smacking him in the head during his sleep, but just couldn't prove it. Your ego was gone, bro, Sean said, wishing Dick knew what he was talking about. The brain is capable of shutting off certain faucets to prevent itself from experiencing the trauma that lies there, like repressed memories. Have you ever heard of the id, the ego, and the superego? Nah, kid, you got me there, but do tell. Your ego shut you off in order to do away with the things that no longer served you. That's how you woke up here with college degrees and shit, but that is also why you can't remember any of it. But suddenly out of thin air you can explain E equals MC squared. But how do you know I'm not my ego? And who am I supposed to be now then? You're the id, because you know what you want. From how you like your coffee, to entering a diner that reads no wanderers allowed. You know you want your dick sucked. You follow me? The id is instinctual, reckless, and could give two fucks about consequences. The ego, on the other hand, is your negotiating side, the conduit that rubs oil all over the bitch's asses to seal the deal. Or something like that. You get what I'm saying. Yes, actually, that makes perfect sense. I get it, Dick assured. I mean, it could be something rough and mean too, don't get me wrong. But my point is the ego uses strategy and tact to get what the id desires. So if the chick wants her hair pulled, the ego will pull it just so she grants your wish in return, you feel me? I totally understand that too. But there's a problem. What's the problem? There's no hair pulling or ass rubbing without my ego, right? Where is my ego? It obviously is not present. Can I get my ego back? Sean dropped his head in thought, then agreed. You're right, that is a problem. The ego must have done something criminal, maybe even unforgivable. You go by an alias, right? What did you name your ego? My ego would have to be my given name, Benjamin, because the way you describe the id, I'd have to say my alias belongs to my id. Nah, bro, the brain doesn't develop in that order. First it's the id, then it's the ego, then it's the superego. Come on, man, as a kid, there had to be a point where you... Wait, what's the first memory you have of you? Dick shook his head like a toddler about to cry for his mom. I was around your age, man, maybe a little younger. A teenager running through school, chasing ass and partying. That's all I remember. And what's your first memory since you've been back? Like the first time you remember waking up in this man body? A couple of days ago, really. Some chick was in my room talking about plumbing and all I could think about was plumbing her pussy. They both laughed at Dick's serious humor. But serious, one moment I found her adorable, then I hated her after I found out she didn't vacuum my rug. I'm gonna skip over my room and do all the other rooms like I'm a bird. I was like, yo, shorty, come here for a minute. Give me that fucking vacuum cleaner. Both of them laughed again at Dick's pain, but then Sean calmed down.